All right, YouTubers, I got this 2006 Toyota Avalon, and we're gonna be doing the front brakes and rotors. Should be a pretty simple job unless we run into some broken or strip bolts or something like that. Let's get started on this thing. Okay, let's start off by jacking up the car. Got some jack stands on there. Always use jack stands, and what I do is I pop this open, because when I compress that piston, I don't want no pressure in there. And if it's gonna overfill, I've got a little baby snot, or you can use a turkey, base or whatever it is, and suck out some fluid if you need to. And let's start off by taking this wheel off. I'll probably only record one side. And the lugs are gonna be a 21 millimeter. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna do this car. This guy hardly drives this car, and look at the pads. They're new. They're good. He's got a lot of meat on him. Let me get some light. I'm not gonna rip off anyone. Look at those pads. That's a lot of meat. They're practically brand new. The rotor doesn't look bad. Look, it's thick. I remember doing these rotors a while back, and like I said, this car spends its time in the garage. There's no way he needs this stuff. He went to look at the brakes. A lot of meat on both sides. There's nothing wrong with the rotor. He went to a shop and they told him he needed brake pads and the front rotors. Look, he's got new tires. They're not even worn out. I can't rip anybody off, man. I'm gonna call him and ask him why they told him he needed brake pads and rotors. And if there's no vibrating, nothing like that, I'm not gonna take him for his money, man. I mean, he doesn't need brakes or rotors, man. They look good to me, unless there's some vibrating, because you really can't see when they're warped. But I doubt it. This guy keeps it in good condition. Like I said, it's kept in a garage. Harley drives it, so I can't see him paying me what I'm gonna charge him for something that he don't need. He can just take these back and get his money back. I think he spent about 140 on the brakes and that, and he doesn't need them. Unless he wants me to do it, well, we'll do the video. But if not, sorry guys, it's just I'm not that kind of a person who takes somebody just for money. Okay, I called the customer, and he said now to do the brakes then, and said the rotors look good. If you wanted to, we could save money by turning them. But he said, no, you know what, I got the rotors, go ahead and put them. Because he does say that there's a shaking, vibrating when he hits the brake. So that does tell me that it's more likely the rotors are warped. I guess they heated up somehow and warped. Because he said he's got it aligned, he's got it balanced. Tire rods look good. There's nothing loose down there. So we're gonna go with the rotors. And like I said, I run into that a lot, and 99% of the time when they vibrate, when you hit the brake, it's that rotor that's warped. So let's go ahead and change that rotors. Okay, I'm gonna take a screwdriver, shove it in here between the brake pad and this rotor like this, and kind of squeeze the piston, and so you can see it's loose already. And then take these off, 13 millimeter. And sometimes there's another little nut here that you might have to hold, or I get away by sticking a screwdriver and putting pressure, and it won't let that nut there spin. But I don't think we're having trouble with it right now. It's turning. Make sure the bottom one, little bolts that hold the caliper. And now I'm gonna do it like this. You could take the whole bracket with the caliper off, but I'm just gonna show you how to do it this way. And now the bracket usually has a big nut back there, which is around a 15 millimeter, 18 millimeter. We'll see what size this is. Okay, on this vehicle, it's a 17 millimeter. It's back there, that bolt, that one there, and the other one's up here. And they're usually on there very tight. Well, they are on there tight, very tight, because they use Loctite. So when you put it back on, sure you put a little Loctite on it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this pry bar, put it on this ratchet so I can get some leverage and be able to break that bolt down. Let me get down further. There we go. I use it as leverage. Okay, now let's do the top one. And I may need a longer pry bar. There we go. All I was doing was using it for leverage. And you're gonna want to hold the bracket because it is gonna fall once it's loose. Rotor already wants to come off. There's your caliper or bracket with the brake pads in there. Now they should come off. Alright guys, I know I had done the brakes on this vehicle and look, the pads are still thick. That's my mark right there. I use that red quiet brake. Let me show you the can real quick. This stuff works real good. I use it on all my brake jobs. I don't know if you can see it. I get it at AutoZone. Alright, I'm just gonna size these size up these rotors. Everything looks getting good. The hose line up. So I'm just gonna spray this to get that oil that comes with off it. All right. I'm gonna put a couple of lug nuts on it to hold it still. Take the bracket. Try not to knock the brake pads off. Line it up. Bottom one already grabbed. Line up the top one. That grabbed. And I'll just tighten it up with the impact cordless ratchet, and then I'll do the final touch. Oops. Okay guys, I did use Loctite. Now I'm gonna put the final squeeze on these, and I'm gonna wedge this against that bracket back there. Tighten it real good. Let's put the caliper on. And these brakes weren't squeaking or anything. It's just that he was having issues with the vibrating, and you know, hopefully that's the issue. Warped rotors. Like I said, 99% of the time when I do these, it is the rotor that's worn out or warped. Okay. Okay. Take these off. And these holes right here, they're there in case these get stuck on there. They get rusted and they like weld on there. And these you can put a clip or pulley on there, drive 2 screws through there, and then the main one through there, and it'll help pull that rotor out if it's stuck real bad. But usually just whacking it around here with a sledgehammer or a hammer, 5-pound hammer, usually breaks that rust off. Put penetrating over there and it'll come off. Boy, this shop gets hot. All right, let's put the tire on. That's 90 pounds of torque now. Just kidding. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you change them rotors. Okay guys, we're done. We got this other side done. One thing I forgot to show you on the other side, whenever you do a brake job, make sure this dust cover didn't get bent. Always push it back. And even if you put the rim, if you got rims that you can see through, you can take one of these, because I've done it, and push this back. You don't know how many people I've had do their own brake jobs, and then they come ask me, hey man, the car's making a noise, it's making a rubbing sound. And all it is this. While they were working on it, it bent this way. Then it'll rub. See, like that, you'll hear it rub. So just push it with your hands. If it's hard, like that one's bent a little bit, use a crowbar or a prying bar. And just push it back. And make sure it doesn't rub. Well, let me put the tire on and we'll test drive it. Alright, we got it put together. You always want to check your brake reservoir, and we look good. And before you do anything, before you take off, you want to pump those brakes. You want to get the fluid back into the lines because it's all pushed up. See, they go all the way down. There we go, finally. I had a friend that did a brake job for a female friend of ours. The girl got on there and ran right into her garage, and then turned out into a mess. She was trying to sue him for the garage door repairs and stuff like that. So I always tell my customers, if you're gonna do your brake jobs, pump them when you get done. When I do them, I never let them take off, or I never tell them, hey, go ahead and pump it before you take off. I get in there and I pump it first for them, because I know they'll forget. They'll run into something. All right, let's go try it out. Okay guys, just came back from a test drive. It runs beautiful. That's what it was. He was getting some vibrating from the brakes, and it's not vibrating at all. Thanks for watching, and like always, I really appreciate y'all. Good luck. God bless.